Good morning, Twin Flames. Happy Wednesday. It is May 2nd, and it is a beautiful day here in Florida. I'm very excited to be with you this morning. I prayed over, shuffled, and laid out your spread for today, May 2nd. However, whenever you get this reading, it's meant for that day. Your angels and guides will direct you. I ask God and the angels to give us a clear reading so that I could be helpful to the collective for the day. They have asked me to do a month reading, and I will try to get to that this afternoon for both Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. I was still dealing with the energies of the full moon yesterday, which today should be concluded. So there were a lot of people seeking readings, and I want to thank you all who booked a reading. My name is Pam. This is God Conscious Twin Flame 1111. I want to thank all the new subscribers for all your likes, comments, and shares and donations. They are appreciated, as a lot of work goes into these readings. It takes about, between prayer and meditation, and it takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours to produce a reading. And when I have technical difficulties, which should have subsided, actually they've been a little easier, and so they should be much more smooth going forward. I'm excited about your reading today, so I'm going to begin. They're advising that you seek wise counsel. I'm sorry, they asked me to start with the Page of Wands. You've got the Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck, and that means that there's good news coming in. The good news, though, will require that you seek counsel, wise counsel, somebody that you can trust. Maybe it's a specific reading for you on where you're going and what is needed. The move is going to be, the good news is going to require swift decision making, swift action. If you don't take that swift action, it's showing me in the Eight of Swords, you could lose this opportunity. So this is for some of you. You might know already what it is that you have to do, and then the moon is third. So, so you want to seek counsel on this information that's coming to you. There could be travel indicated with this information because that's the outcome card. Knight of Swords also. That's a chaotic energy, though. So I'm going to go through the reading the way they asked me to. So, so with the Hierophant, they want you to seek wise counsel. They don't want you to do... this could relate to traditional values and ethical, going about things in an ethical manner. You could be exploring more spiritual matters, deeper spiritual matters. So there's a few different people that are being addressed, a few different groups of people that are being addressed. If you're working in a large institution and you're getting frustrated because of the way things are getting done, because they've always been getting done that way, be patient with that, because there's a perseverance here with the Queen of Cups. So for some of you that are working in an institution that is established, maybe it's a religious institution, maybe it's a hospital, maybe it's the government, maybe it's education, it's suggesting that you have perseverance in the matter. You're highly sensitive, and in this Queen, it's showing me that you're highly sensitive. You're not prone to confrontations. So this is somebody who is needing to make a move, but is probably not used to making changes quickly. That's the word that came to me. Not used to making changes quickly. Doesn't like change. Doesn't like confrontation. Likes the status quo. She's a a stable queen. She likes harmony and balance. She likes beauty. She likes stability. But if you're stuck in this, then the information that's coming through is definitely going to require that you seek out help. Because you have a Chariot in your outcome card. You don't want to be caught off guard with the swift changes that are coming through. Because they are coming through. And they're also recommending that you rest. So today's Wednesday. Today's a good day. It's hump day. We're usually tired today. So maybe if you had plans tonight that weren't so important, maybe you could just rest and blow them off. If you work a 9 to 5, if you don't work a 9 to 5, today's a good day to rest. Rejuvenate. If you've been sick, then definitely need rejuvenation. If somebody around you has been sick and you've been taking care of them, you need rejuvenation. You need to just take some space, take an hour of meditation for you. That's also reflected by the Hierophant. So in the spiritual realm, they're guiding me that we can't box it in. You know, we start to feel good, we start to feel balanced, we start to feel, you know, status quo. And in the spiritual world, it isn't status quo. It is constantly moving. It is constantly shifting. There's energy patterns around us that can cause some turmoil within us. And we should be seeking stability within. We should be seeking stability within and not focus so much on the outside world. Really look at where God is in it and look at how He's moving things, how He's directing things. I think that the energy of the full moon probably brought some chaos to some of you. Maybe some news that you weren't expecting. There was an indication earlier this week that some of you are in legal matters. So look to God, look to His wise counsel. This could be internal conflicts. Typically with the arcana, major arcana cards, we think of, we kind of classify them as events happening outside of us that are out of our control. The Chariot, however, is a card that we do with self-discipline, perseverance, and patience. We can shift the energy of this. So the moving could be what's going on between your head and your heart. Inner conflicts that are going on within you. For some of you, we did see over the last week, some of you are moving and traveling long distances, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. You're traveling, you're moving. It's spring, it's rejuvenation, it's regeneration. So you want to be mindful that self-discipline is required. That's the outcome card. That's if you don't have it now, that's the outcome. Those are the qualities that are required to go through changes. Self-discipline, perseverance, patience. It'll appear like a non-reactive state, almost. It'll appear cool and collected. So that's what they're looking for you to accomplish in this day and moving forward. These are the goals that they have been asking us to get to since I started doing these. Those are the gifts that are going to bring us into the ascension of a higher elevation, of a higher energy, higher polarities. So we don't want to get stuck in the lower vibrational energies in order for this process, for this union, for this reunion, for this journey, for us to be light workers, for us to be light bearers, way showers. We want to vibrate at the highest energy possible to be good vessels and channels, healthy vessels and channels. Good, I don't like good and bad. Healthy vessels and channels to move to move the collective. Because if you've been called to this twin flame journey, then you have a higher purpose. And the higher purpose is to be your most joyful, peaceful, loving, kind, compassionate, empathetic self you could possibly be. And if you're not, then you really should be seeking counsel. Readings is a good way to do that. The readings are intended mostly, and most of the readings I've ever had were about what can I do? Where can I make changes? So I'll never forget one of my readings when I was in my early 30s. I only had one woman read for me, and she read for me every other week because I was in a shift transition, and that was the same person who recommended that I do this. Start doing oracle cards, and she gave me some tools to use early on in my spiritual journey. She was a beautiful guide, is still a beautiful guide in my life. And she had warned me that there was going to be financial turmoil, and that I needed to be mindful, and I needed to be saving money. And so also it was guided not to build. I was in the process of building a house with a significant other I was with, and she had warned me that financial troubles were coming, they were global, and that I shouldn't go through with that I should look at something smaller. Well, I was not quite ready to hear that, and I didn't listen. And sure enough, in 2006, there was a huge market crash. And it was not anything that I could control. There was nothing that I could do about it. It was a global market crash. It affected my business at the time. And it affected my house. It caused me such grief. I didn't know how to listen. I realized after it had all taken place, I didn't know how to listen because I had so much of the ego still at the forefront of my personality that I was invincible. And so partially true, but I need to learn to listen to wise counsel. And I have learned how to listen to wise counsel. I don't make quick decisions anymore, and the quick decisions that I do have to make, I pray over, and I ask for 3 days. And if it needs to be responded to sooner, then I get 3 signs that which direction I should be going in. That is kind of how this move to Florida took place. I got the signs within 24 hours. Though I had the luxury to wait, I took the actions as if I was going forward with that and prepared to move forward with that. Because I had gotten to this place where if that's not what they want me to do, they'll let me know that too. If I'm not moving in the right direction, they'll let me know. So the move took a total of, from the time that I was told to the time that I got in my car and had everything sold, was 28 days. So that move. Now, I worked specifically with God. I did not read all of that. I just went with the energies that were required of me. I did have sound counsel around me, who I call my prayer warriors, who basically validated. They said they saw my wings come out, which I thought was very cool. So if you need help, I have links below. I also can coach you through this process. This isn't a plug for that, but if you do need help, I know what it's like because I've been there. You can get through this. I realize you're a sensitive helper, so was I. I still am, am as a sensitive helper. I was prone, on the negative, prone to a victim mentality. Can be manipulative, but none of those things were beneficial in the past to the ascension process. That's not true. They were beneficial, but there was pain associated. So I don't like pain. And I certainly don't like to repeat mistakes. Sometimes they're necessary. Sometimes I still have to do that. But if these are mistakes that you've made over and over and over again, then you're stuck in a pattern and you should be seeking wise counsel. They want you to move out of those patterns. So that move could be, the outcome is you're going to move out of those old patterns, that old patterning, that old inner conflict. So either way, it's a positive message for you. You want to make sure you take time to rest. I talk about that a lot because we do not know how to be still. We have been programmed that we must be doing something at all times in order for us to be purposeful or to be productive. Productive is the word that we have lived with. So, angels, I'm going to ask for specific guidance on this for 3 different groups. I feel like you're telling me 3 different groups. Daily guidance for 3 different groups. What do you want for them to know? Anything above and beyond this? You're asking for them to seek wise counsel. Maybe you're pursuing further spiritual matters. If something's been put on your path, for me it was the Course in Miracles, I've mentioned this, and the Bible. Both, I didn't want to read the Bible for a long time. I was afraid of the Bible because it was very violent. The Old Testament in particular, even Jesus being hung on a cross to die is violent, but it is representative of the polarities within us, the dark and the light within us. The story about Moses and the Pharaoh. There are days that I'm acting like Moses and I'm, trying to set the Israelites free, which is the light in me. And then there are times that I'm stuck in my ego and I don't want to listen to wise counsel and I think I know better. So when we look at these stories, we want to look at them as daily living words. God is our protector. God is the divine. God has all things under control. I did a video, didn't get a chance to post it yesterday. I was, after doing some work, I went to the beach and I noticed that the water yesterday, the ocean, was still a little on the rough side. And I realized that that's us. So, but it wasn't like the heavy crashing waves. It was a little less severe. It was like it was pulling out. The storm was pulling out to sea. And I tried to talk in the video to just kind of share that idea with you while I was at the beach. But the wind was so loud, and the ocean waves crashing were so loud that I don't think that the audio came through clearly, which is why I didn't put it up so quickly. But we are one. We are one with the earth. We are one with nature. We are one with God. We want to start to allow that. And if there's something feeling like I'm a victim, or if I'm feeling the desire to manipulate a situation, that can make us sick. Control issues can make us sick. Fighting the inevitable can make us sick. I mentioned on Saturday my daughter wasn't feeling well, and my daughter wound up, has been in the hospital for a few days. I have been asked to stand down on this one. There's other things going on. Family members that needed to be present, that she needed to be around, I think, to gain access to the polarities of how they handle stress and pressure. That's kind of the message that I got. It was very hard for me to not make a move because this is my baby, my soulmate, the love of my life. And, but last night she had asked me to pray for her. And first time since she got sick, since Saturday and Sunday, to pray for her. And I prayed for her. I woke up to a text message, because she's an hour ahead, that she had to get up in the middle of the night, or maybe this morning, and walk, because she couldn't walk without getting very sick and nauseous. And that she feels as though she's been healed. And I just praise God. So after I prayed over her last night, and I was thinking this morning, it wasn't my best prayers that I've ever done for this child, but apparently it was what it needed to be. I was able to send her some healing Bible verses, physical healing Bible verses that I found on YouTube, and then a Reiki healing meditation. in case she needed that. That's what was inspired. That's what showed up in front of me. I didn't even think about it, but sometimes I watch the videos on my TV. I have the meditations playing on the TV, and it just showed up in my consciousness. Those are the God incidences that I want to share with you, that I want you to start to look for in your own life. I'm sure you have those stories. If you do, please put one in the comments or send me an email. I would love to share about those in these readings. We are together in this. I want to hear from you. I know during the week it might be a little harder. You're busy. But if you think about it, okay, please let me know. Okay, so we're looking for 3 cards, angels, for the 3 specific. Okay, so one on the four of swords. So they're saying fresh air for some of you. Your body needs refreshment from oxygenated air generated by grass, trees, plants, and flowers. Spend time outside today, as near to Mother Nature's cradle as possible. Open your curtains and windows and refresh your home as well. I heard it was 80s in the Northeast yesterday. Get outside. It's time to get outside. It's time to earth yourselves. It's time to get some fresh air. Validating something I just said to you guys. Indriel, you are a light worker. God needs you to shine your divine light and love, like an angel upon the earth and all of its inhabitants. Queen of Cups. So if you're having struggle still in here, and there's a move impending, and they're letting you know that there's a move impending within you, shift-wise or outside of you, get some wise counsel. And then, okay, for the final batch of angels. Thank you, angels. Let your past go. Let your past go. She's looking like, oh, I gotta hear that again. I know. The burden of carrying your past around has made you weary, dear one. I hope that music's not too loud. I apologize. It just dawned on me. Today I'm playing Reiki music for love, healing music, positive energy music, Reiki healing meditation by New Meditation. It was on low, but for some reason it all of a sudden got loud on me. The burden of carrying your past around has made you weary, dear one. It's time to set this burden down. Keep only the lessons and the love, and leave everything else behind. You don't want it or need it, and it's now gone. And so it is. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guys. So there are 3 different groups of you. Some of you are still carrying the past. They want you to let it go. They want you to clear. They want you to notice the signs. Okay, Pam, straight. There you go. Notice the signs that they're giving you. Wise counsel can help you tell the difference between the God signs and the ego signs. I was working with a client yesterday, and she said, I don't know when God is speaking to me. Sometimes I think I know. So I encouraged reach out a little bit more. And in my coaching practice, I have that ability in the contract. Reach out a little bit more. If you're not sure if it's God or the other self, I have been given other tools and techniques to help you gather that information. Notice the signs. Yes, the signs you've been receiving are heaven sent. We drop feathers, coins, and other signs upon your path to remind you that you're loved and never alone. Another client I have had shared that she didn't know what to do and wanted an answer. And sometimes their signs are subtle, and sometimes they're loud, and sometimes our mind will say, yeah, no, not that. Kind of like that story I just shared with you, which is probably why God asked me to bring that up to you. And the angels, where the reader told me that I needed to save a lot of money, to put everything away, not to spend it. Excuse me. I didn't listen. And when the market crash came, I didn't have the full 2 years worth that I was supposed to have. I only had a year's worth of resources to get through the crash. But they told me to save all of it. And I didn't pay attention to that. I went and I bought, ridiculous stuff and paid stupid money for, not only for the house that I was building, but for, egoic pleasures and, fancy vacations. And I could have downscaled a little of that. I could have still gone on vacation, but not to the ways in which I did. It was kind of like I didn't have a respect that I should have had, which is what I was being warned about. To be frugal, to be more tight-handed with the money, because there was something that was coming. I was warned. Of course, I didn't see the warning until I was already in the midst of the other side of what had happened. And so then it was, I can't say it was too late because I got the lessons out of it. And I get to share with all of you what happens when you don't listen to the angels and the guides and your readings. They're there for a reason. So one of the things that I had learned on this journey is that when God speaks to me, it comes in threes. And at first, it's just some confusion when he wants me to make a new decision. And the second time, it becomes a little more chaotic. And then the third time is full-blown catastrophe. So this was clear as a bell, because it was a worldwide market crash in 2006, 7, and 8, where the banks failed, the car companies failed, we were in a depression in the country and around the world. It wasn't even just here, it was around the world. And I had this information probably 5 years prior, and I did nothing. Certainly nothing that I was warned to do. So I wanted to share that with you, because it wasn't a big deal to start to be frugal, but my egoic nature, in Christian circles, they say my sinful nature, my pride, I don't like to use that word, by the way, sinful nature, because I don't see us as sinful. I see us as love, and sometimes not having enough information. I get a little bit sometimes offended inside about that, because it's really, it's my pride. It's mine. I have to own it. I have pride. I have pride sometimes that is detrimental to the best interest of the journey. Those of you that are not engaging in that, get busy. You're a light worker. God needs you to shine your divine light and love like an angel upon the earth. So whatever mission you are on, you're doing a wonderful job. Keep doing that. See the halo around you? Or the moon behind you that looks like a halo? The cosmos, the world at the bottom. Keep doing that. And for those that need to let the past go, some fresh air will do you good. Notice the signs that your angels are giving you, and have a very blessed day. I will see you tomorrow. Oh, please click, like, share, subscribe. If you'd like a private reading, please email me, or click the link below to reserve a spot. I am currently a couple of days behind. But I can get to you by the weekend. I love you, sending love and light and blessings to you. And I'll see you tomorrow.